Why bears are called the most insidious of caves. When I learned the truth, a chill ran down my spine. My name is Clara Moon. I'm just an ordinary college student. The college holidays were boring, so my boyfriend Marcus Thompson and I randomly signed up for a tour group. We never expected something terrible would happen. Marcus, have you packed everything for the trip? Everything's right here. See if there's anything else we need to bring. Marcus is my boyfriend from college. We're in different majors. I'm in the finance department. He's in animal management. We didn't meet through school group activities. We met through an online game. Later we added each other as friends and discovered we were alumni of the same school. After meeting in person for a month or two, we became a couple. Soon the day of the tour arrived. The place we were going was a valley with beautiful scenery. The rafting activity there really attracted me, so I signed up for the tour without hesitation. It was already past 3 p.m. by now. Mr. Henderson picked up a megaphone and said, "Welcome everyone to our tour group. For the next period of time, I'll be spending it with all of you. Now please rest for a moment. At 4 o'clock, we'll gather here to start hiking. Before that, please replenish your energy and prepare your hiking gear." Marcus and I randomly found a place to sit down. While resting, I took out my phone and scrolled through short videos. I casually searched for the valley we were in. Many videos were posted by previous tourists. After watching the videos, I became even more excited about the upcoming activities. Everyone was in high spirits during the hike. I discovered that one of my gaming friends was also in this group. We had never seen each other's photos, nor did we know each other's real names. So at the beginning of the tour, we didn't recognize each other. In the game, he called me Crescent Moon, and I called him Orchid. After recognizing each other, we exchanged names. His name is Selena Rivers. He currently works as an internet cafe manager. Wow, what a small world, I said. I randomly joined this tour group, and I never thought we'd meet here. I didn't expect it either. I didn't think our connection was this deep. Along the way, he and I chattered endlessly, with endless things to talk about. My boyfriend was treated as invisible by us. Today's hiking activity ends here, successfully. Everyone has worked hard. Please set up your tents. Those who don't know how can ask me or Ranger Miller for help. There will be a bonfire party later. Tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. we'll head down the mountain. Those who want to watch the sunrise can get up earlier. After descending, we'll start rafting. Nice. Great, it's finally over. I'm already looking forward to tomorrow's rafting activity. After that hike, I feel like my legs are about to break. Are you watching the sunrise tomorrow? Too early. I probably can't get up. Everyone was chattering. Soon, one tent after another was set up. Everyone sat around the bonfire, eating the food they brought. It was very pleasant. Everyone must zip up your tents properly. This mountain area has wild animals. Some wild animals will steal your food. After the party ends, Ranger Miller and I will handle the bonfire. 2 rangers will take turns on duty. Everyone can rest assured. After the party ended and saying goodbye to Selena, my boyfriend and I returned to our tent. The temperature on the mountain was getting lower and lower. Gradually, all the tents lost their light. Only the faint light of the bonfire around the camp remained. My boyfriend had already fallen asleep. I tossed and turned in the tent, unable to sleep. I turned on silent mode and scrolled through short videos. Suddenly, I heard a rustling sound. I saw a tall shadow appear on the tent. I didn't dare to make a sound, because that shadow didn't look human at all. What was that? A wild animal. I felt uneasy. The next morning, when I woke up, everyone had already started packing, getting ready to go rafting. What happened in the middle of the night made my hair stand on end. I didn't fall asleep because I was tired. I fainted from fear, because, in my daze, I seemed to hear some animal chewing and eating sounds. After breakfast, everyone set off. I noticed that yesterday there were clearly 2 rangers next to Mr. Henderson, but now there's only 1 left. Could it be that he was eaten by a wild animal? Hang in there a little longer. We'll soon reach the rafting spot. When we get to the waterfall, everyone can take photos freely. Those who want to raft should register with Ranger Miller. Unsee. Great. This is the best activity. Where's the other ranger? Why isn't he keeping up? At this moment, everyone noticed that there were originally 2 rangers. But now only one is following at the end of the group. The ranger needs to go down the mountain for personal reasons. The company has already sent a new ranger to join us. He'll arrive soon. Please don't worry. Oy. I felt a sense of relief. Good, so he wasn't eaten by a wild animal. So that's how it is. Oh my. We stayed in the wild for a night, and nothing dangerous happened. We'll definitely be fine. Sua. Relieved. Yes, relieved. Don't scare yourselves. With so many people, what could go wrong? Hearing Mr. Henderson's explanation, everyone felt relieved. But my feeling of unease continued. At this moment, Mr. Henderson glanced at me. I felt a chill down my spine. My boyfriend saw my pale face and asked, "What's wrong? You don't look well. Didn't sleep well last night?" "A bit," I replied. "I have a bad feeling. Is it because you're afraid of rafting? It's normal to feel this way on your first rafting trip." "Actually, I hadn't finished speaking yesterday." Mr. Henderson's voice came. "Those who haven't tried rafting can try it with a friend. Those who like excitement, come quickly. Register with me and Ranger Miller. No. Those who don't participate in the activity will have to walk to the next destination on their own. We'll meet at the bottom of the mountain later." Bye, Sant. Oh, why is it like this? Rafting sounds so scary. I've been climbing all morning. I really don't want to climb anymore. Perhaps hearing that tourists not participating would have to walk down the mountain themselves. Most tourists were too exhausted and unwilling to walk anymore. In no time, all tourists participated in this activity. My boyfriend, Selena, and I registered together. Because Selena was traveling alone, I invited him to raft with us. We could look out for each other. He readily agreed. The unfinished conversation with my boyfriend was long forgotten by me. I fully enjoyed the thrill that rafting brought me. The cool water splashed on us, relieving the heat of the summer. Suddenly, a scream came from ahead, along with the sound of animal roars. It was terrifying. "Run! There's a bear! Help! Run! The bear is catching up to you. Ranger, where's the ranger? Help!" The tourists, terrified. Screams and various sounds mixed together. Our tour group encountered a bear. A 1 in 1,000 chance, and we encountered it. There was a section of the rafting area that was quite narrow, only allowing one raft to pass at a time. The water depth wasn't as deep as the later section, and the current wasn't as fast either. The bear dragged someone away. The man dragged by the bear let out a mournful scream, echoing throughout the valley. Gradually, the sound disappeared. The tourists behind the man kept screaming. They jumped off the rafts one after another, scurrying around. They all ran towards the forest. My boyfriend Selena and I also jumped off the raft. We tried to find a safe place to hide. "Everyone, don't run around. Please gather together," Mr. Henderson shouted with the megaphone. Soon, everyone gathered together under Mr. Henderson's call. The ranger found a cave. It was spacious enough to accommodate all of us. Originally, there were 13 people in the tour group, excluding the ranger who went down the mountain and the tourists, dragged away by the bear. Now only 11 remained. Please don't panic. We have already contacted the forest ranger team to request rescue. We sincerely apologize for bringing you this bad experience. After the rescue is over, we will refund all fees in full. Gradually, it started to drizzle in the mountains. Fortunately, this cave gave us a place to shelter. Otherwise, with the rain and the sudden drop in temperature at night, our group would soon freeze to death in the mountains due to the cold and wet. I'm deeply saddened by this tourist's experience. But right now, we must all unite. Yalan? Now, this bear has probably already devoured him completely. Bears, once they taste human flesh, will seek out prey with this scent again before their next hunger. Please, do not act alone. In this critical moment, we need to unite and act together. and Mariela. Several of the more timid ones were already crying in fear. Among the remaining 11 people in the group, 5 were women and 6 were men. Under Mr. Henderson's suggestion, the ranger, Mr. Henderson, and the remaining 6 men were divided into 2 groups, taking turns to stand guard. Before the forest ranger team arrives, no one is allowed to leave the cave. The ranger lit the bonfire again, and with the help of the tourists, they worked together to make several simple self-defense tools. Long spears made from sturdy tree trunks that have a certain deterrent effect on wild animals. After a night passed, the forest ranger team still hadn't arrived for rescue. The ranger tried using the satellite phone to request support again, but no one answered. At this moment, everyone was deep in the mountains, and no one's phone had any signal. I was very uneasy. My boyfriend and Selena kept comforting me. Another day passed. The ranger discovered something unusual and speculated that the forest ranger team might have encountered an accident on the way. But soon, he rejected this unrealistic thought. Could a forest ranger team with guns not be able to defeat a bear? The snacks and canned food everyone brought were all eaten. If the rescue team doesn't arrive soon, even if we're not eaten by wild animals, we'll starve to death in the mountains without food. Soon, someone suggested dividing into 2 groups, led by Mr. Henderson and the ranger respectively, to find food, to survive as much as possible before the rescue team arrives. My boyfriend, Selena, the ranger, and another male tourist were in one group. The other group was led by Mr. Henderson, including 2 female tourists and 3 male tourists. We split into 2 teams to search for supplies. Because the mountain forest was too large, we lost contact with the other team. The ranger's satellite phone couldn't reach Mr. Henderson either. Helplessly, we could only bring the food we found and some usable supplies to camp in another relatively safe place. 2 days later, we finally contacted Mr. Henderson. But when we met, their team of 6 now only had 3 people left. This bear is too ferocious, extremely vicious. In just 2 days, it killed 3 more people. Alibana, that's not a bear anymore. It's a monster. I don't want to die here. Well, I saw that bear bite off his head with my own eyes. From the neck down, there was a crunching sound. Yada. We will definitely get out of here alive. Mr. Henderson and the ranger comforted everyone. The situation is very dangerous now. We unanimously decided to give up waiting for the forest ranger team's rescue and find our own way out. Nice. Gradually, I noticed that the ranger seemed very unfamiliar with some of the mountain terrain. He couldn't even distinguish directions clearly. The other tourists also seemed to notice this. Finally, under everyone's questioning, the ranger reluctantly admitted that he was just an adventure enthusiast and only knew the basics. His safety certificate was a fake certificate he bought with money. Mr. Henderson couldn't believe it after hearing this. Once trust is broken, it can't be rebuilt. One of the men was very angry and punched the ranger. Your damn company doesn't treat tourists' lives as lives at all. I'm going to sue you. Everyone dispersed. Rather than listening to a ranger who knows nothing, it's better to find our own way to survive. My boyfriend, Selena, and the 3 of us also took some food and left. The remaining tourists formed their own teams. Only Mr. Henderson and the ranger were left. Little did they know that after we all left, Mr. Henderson and the ranger smiled coldly. After separating from everyone, the 3 of us still tried to get our phones to pick up a signal so we could call for help. Why don't we continue walking forward? I heard that in mountain forests like this, there are usually forest rangers living here. Selena suggested. My boyfriend and I also agreed. We can't get out for a while anyway, so let's try our luck. Lewan, we can only pray that the bear isn't active in this area. The 3 of us walked in the opposite direction from where the team had dispersed. What's that smell? It stinks! Because we had been running non-stop earlier, we had long lost our direction. We only knew we were currently at the bottom of the mountain, close to the mountainside. As for which mountain it was, we had no idea. as the smell became more and more unpleasant, like the smell of rotten eggs, and also like the smell of rotting flesh. Oh my God. Could it be the tourists who were eaten by the bear earlier? Selena pinched his nose and the smell became stronger and stronger. I was already feeling physically unwell, dry heaving all the way. My boyfriend and Selena were the same. Suddenly, fragments of clothing and human limbs appeared before us. It was the tourist man who was dragged away. At the beginning, the contents of his head had long been hollowed out, and his 2 eyeballs were no longer in their original place. They left us with only a pair of empty eye sockets and a face twisted in pain. The rest of his limbs were nowhere to be found. The organs in his torso had been cleaned out completely, leaving only a pile of bones and a little connected flesh and skin. It was horrifying. Seeing this scene, the 3 of us vomited at the same time. This is too cruel. Marcus, I'm scared. I tightly held Marcus's hand. Selena's face was also pale. Clara, let's leave quickly. Marcus also strongly agreed with Selena's suggestion, supporting me as we prepared to leave. Wait, this isn't right. As far as I know, this bear dragged this tourist here to eat and didn't dig a pit to bury it. There's no action of hiding food. That means within at least 1 kilometer around here. This is one of its territories. Right now, it's very likely active in other territories. Or it might be on its way back to this territory. Bears have a very strong sense of territory. Hearing my boyfriend's analysis, Selena and I instantly felt a chill down our spines. If this bear comes back, then the 3 of us will all become this bear's meal. Thinking of this, the 3 of us quickened our pace. We are currently on the mountainside. We unanimously decided to go up the mountain first, to see if we could receive a weak signal on the mountain. Because down the mountain, the river and the mountain valley are blocked by trees and slopes, which greatly weakens signal reception. Perhaps it was the blessing of the gods above. The 3 of us found a hunter's lodge in the mountain. The lodge had 2 floors. Outside the lodge was a wall made of cement. The wall was as high as 4 meters. There were many sharp spikes on the wall. The gate of the wall was tightly closed. A doorbell was conspicuously hanging on it. I pulled the bell outside the door. Is anyone there? We're from a tour group. We encountered a brown bear on the way. Can you help us? Ding dong, ding dong. The doorbell sound was particularly harsh in the quiet mountain. After a moment, there was still no response. Our last glimmer of hope was shattered. Just as we were about to turn and leave, the gate suddenly opened. Come in. A man in his late 20s slowly opened the door. He was carrying a hunting rifle on his back. The sun had already set by now. We glanced at the time. It was already past 8 p.m. The night temperature was much lower than during the day. The man made each of us a cup of ginger tea. Drink this. It can help dispel some of the cold. During our conversation with the man, we learned that his name was William Cloud, a descendant of a hunter family in this mountain area. A few years ago, a serious wild animal attack incident occurred here. All the forest rangers who were stationed here evacuated. 7 people died in that incident. Originally, there were 8 forest rangers, but in the end, only a 9-year-old child survived. But the remaining child didn't escape unharmed either. In that incident, he not only lost his legs, but also became mentally unstable. That child was very pitiful. The 8 people who went were all his family and relatives. When he was rescued, he kept talking nonsense, repeatedly saying second uncle ate them. Second uncle ate them. William Cloud made space for 2 places for use, so we could rest in the latter half of the night. Suddenly, ding dong. Perhaps that child was telling the truth. There are still unknown creatures in the mountains. My boyfriend and Selena didn't take William Cloud's words seriously, thinking it was just a small prank to scare us. I also found it hard to believe such things, but I had a chilling feeling. William Cloud saw the atmosphere become heavy and chuckled lightly. I'm just joking. You 3 should rest early. After saying goodnight to Selena, we each returned to our assigned rooms and went to sleep. I slept next to my boyfriend. my mind constantly replaying William Cloud's words. In the end, I couldn't resist the sleepiness and fell into a deep sleep. Wake up, come have breakfast. William Cloud brought several plates of coarse grains. There's not much to eat in the mountains. You'll have to make do for now. Later, I'll contact the forest ranger team to send you back. Name you. Thank you so much. We're so grateful. You're too polite. It's natural to help friends from all over the world. We told William Cloud everything that had happened. William Cloud's expression became serious. You just said you encountered the bear on that river where you were rafting. We nodded. The three of us didn't actually see that bear. We're not sure how big it was, but the tourists at the front should have seen it. One of the tourists was dragged away. We found the body on the mountainside. It was almost just bones. Oh well, what you encountered might not be a bear. Perhaps that child was telling the truth. Perhaps there really are other creatures. Perhaps there really are other creatures. We stared wide-eyed. What? Are there no bears in this mountain area? The woman took a drag from her cigarette, inhaled deeply, exhaled slowly. The mountain area where we are now is the southern ridge. This region only has animals like rabbits and turkeys. It's completely isolated from the Northern Territory. Only inside the Northern Territory are there brown bears and wolves and other fierce animals. Originally, the mountain area wasn't divided into north and south. After the last attack incident, the forest rangers moved all dangerous animals to the Northern Territory for isolation and protection. This area, because it has a place perfect for rafting, was leased by a tourism company and developed into a tourist destination. About whether it's a bear. After all, you haven't seen it with your own eyes. You said after the incident happened, your tour guide and safety officer called the forest rangers for help, right? William Cloud expertly tapped ash from his cigarette. Yes, we all followed their instructions and waited in the cave for rescue. But after waiting a day and a night, no rescue personnel came. Worse yet, the so-called safety officers were all fake. He got into the team by buying a certificate. Simply a bastard. Let me call the forest rangers to ask. I'm told. William Cloud dialed with his satellite phone. Emergency call dull. When did this happen? A few days ago. Within the past week, we haven't received any emergency calls. All right. Please have a team from the Southern Ridge come over. 3 tourists claim to have been attacked by a brown bear. 4 tourists have died. We'll send people over as soon as possible. Tell them not to go down the mountain. Stay where they are and wait for our rescue. After hanging up, William Cloud told us to stay here for now, and informed us the forest rangers would probably arrive tomorrow evening. William Cloud was telling us about his experiences in the mountains when the doorbell suddenly rang. Is anyone there? It's the tour group. Our group was attacked. Can you help us? It looks like no one's here. Should we leave first? William Cloud had us watch from the second floor for a moment. We looked at the people outside the wall. We immediately recognized them as people from our group. After we confirmed, he went downstairs and opened the door. You scared me to death. I thought no one was here. The girl's face was pale with fear. All right, stop hesitating. Hurry inside. Do you want to be hunted by bears? It was already evening. I looked at the 4 people in front of me. The tour guide, a male tourist, and 2 other female tourists. The male tourist was a photography enthusiast named Michael Shaw. One of the 2 female tourists was named Alexei Volkov, of mixed Russian-Chinese heritage. Travel in China? The other was named Sophie Chen, a food critic. The safety officer sacrificed himself to protect us. Wow. So we must try harder to survive. We must live on for his sake too. The next day, it started to drizzle. Several of us waited anxiously. Each day felt like a year. As the rain grew heavier, William Cloud's expression grew more solemn. We all knew clearly that if this rainstorm continued, it would cause mountain landslides, triggering mud flows. The worst thing we didn't want to happen happened. Because of this rainstorm, the forest rangers arrived early, but were trapped between two mountains. A section of the mountain had collapsed, forming a rapid stream under the rain's erosion. We could only wait anxiously in the house. Gradually, the rain stopped. The rapid stream from the collapse blocked the forest rangers. We could only walk to the other side of the stream, cross the river using the secure rope set up by the forest rangers. Don't panic. Come over one by one in an orderly manner. No. The three of us all crossed safely, just as the tour guide and the remaining two tourists were crossing. About 50 meters away, two huge black shadows suddenly appeared, although visibility in the mountains was very low. Each of us on the opposite shore clearly understood what these two behemoths meant. Hurry up! Speed up! The forest ranger captain roared. The captain and the forest rangers aimed their guns at what was behind them. The woman also took out her hunting rifle, ready to pull the trigger at any moment. Michael Shaw, who hadn't crossed yet, looked back, and his soul almost flew away in fear. Ignoring how painful the rushing water was, he gathered all his strength and rushed ashore in one breath, when only Sophie Chen and William Cloud were left. One bear didn't dare approach because of the crowd, and had already left. The other bear suddenly charged madly towards Sophie Chen. She was terrified, running around aimlessly, fleeing in other directions without reason. Seeing this, William Cloud immediately fired a shot. The bear was very fast, directly swatting William Cloud away. William was instantly knocked to the ground, motionless. Just as the bear's claws were about to reach Sophie Chen, several gunshots rang out. The brown bear fell to the ground, lifeless. Where's the other bear? It disappeared. After a few minutes of vigilance, no sign of the second bear was found. The forest rangers quickly quickened their pace, swimming toward the shore following the safety rope. Sophie Chen, who survived, looked at where the bear fell and said incoherently, he was a safety officer. The bear turned into the safety officer. Oh, Ordnand. The captain was the first to check on William Cloud's condition. He found he was still breathing, just temporarily unconscious. After waking William Cloud, they heard Sophie Chen's senseless words. How could a bear be a safety officer? William Cloud also froze in place, remembering what the mentally disturbed child said 3 years ago. Second uncle ate mom. They call them Moroz Zorola. They transform into any creature to deceive them, and then eat them. I'm not sick. I'm really not lying to you. They're very dangerous. Second uncle told me himself. Oh no. William Cloud was carried to the opposite shore by the captain. Sophie Chen had escaped death, too shocked to speak. Everyone rest where you are for now. After William Cloud recovers, we'll go around from this side and return to the previous place temporarily. Continue staying in his house. Why? We finally got rescued. I don't want to stay in this haunted place. I don't want to either. The captain told everyone about the situation, with the other team waiting at the bottom of the mountain. Now, under the mountain. The situation after the rainstorm is not optimistic. It's best to set out tomorrow afternoon. No one wanted to stay in the wilderness, so they all agreed to this suggestion. After waking, William Cloud led us back to the previous house, by another route. A moment later, William Cloud gathered us together and told us very seriously about the Moroz Zorola. Moroz Zorola? What is that? Don't joke around. Please listen to me. I also find it unbelievable. But you all saw with your own eyes. The brown bear turned into a safety officer. The first safety officer who went down the mountain was him, right? Although I don't know why, with so many people around, he still chose to hunt Sophie Chen. But he was definitely provoked by something. I personally think this creature is extremely cunning. Done? We all fell silent, because William Cloud's analysis was 90% correct. Something seemed to click into place in my mind, from the disappearance of the first safety officer, followed by the appearance of the brown bear creating panic. The purpose was to make everyone scatter. That way, it could take the opportunity to eat the isolated tourists, one by one. My boyfriend, Selena, and I weren't attacked by the brown bear. Because we always stayed together. Because William Cloud said all bears are in the Northern Territory and we're in the Southern Ridge. There were actually no bears here to begin with. They were all transformations of Moroz Zorola. From now on, no one is allowed to leave the house. Because any of us could be Moroz Zorola. Why? Everyone agreed with William Cloud's thinking. William Cloud looked faintly at the captain. Slowly speaking, Captain. I have a question I've been meaning to ask. Why are there only you and one forest ranger? Where are the other forest rangers? Because of the emergency situation, our team sent 4 people in total, and it happened to be during the rainstorm, to constantly monitor the safety of the mountain path. We divided into 2 groups. One group for rescue. The other group stayed at the bottom of the mountain to monitor the mountain conditions. Oh, that's very thoughtful. I was overthinking. I'm fine. Captain, please forgive me. It's fine. That night, everyone slept with fear and trepidation. The next day, Alexei Volkov woke up early. Everyone else was still sound asleep. Through the window, on the 2nd floor, he saw his old friend not far from the house. Harry. In an instant, he seemed entranced and rushed downstairs. Because of Alexei's loud movements, everyone was awakened. Everyone tried to stop Alexei, but to no avail. Alexei, don't go. That's not real. William Cloud ran downstairs at the fastest speed, but still couldn't catch Alexei. He could only quickly close the main gate. Alexei had already suffered a mental breakdown these past few days, unable to accept things beyond his understanding. The person outside, he believed, was truly his friend, his lover Hillary. Alexei ran toward Hillary, tightly embracing his dear one. Do you know how much I've missed you? Alexei lifted Hillary's face, preparing to kiss, when Hillary mercilessly twisted his neck. In front of everyone, he dragged Alexei away. Such creatures shouldn't exist. They're simply devils, born only to kill. None. What do we do? Who's next? Will it be me? Everyone, stop arguing for now. So far, we're safe. Everyone, please get some rest. The captain comforted. Right now, we have 9 people in total. William Cloud's house has 5 rooms that can accommodate people. 3 downstairs, 2 upstairs. After allocation, my boyfriend Marcus and I stayed in the first room on the 1st floor. The opposite room was occupied by Michael Shaw and William Cloud. The adjacent room was occupied by the forest ranger captain and a ranger. The rooms opposite each other had a corridor between them. Opposite the corridor was the staircase. Anyone going upstairs would have to pass through the corridor of the 3 downstairs rooms. The remaining 2 rooms were not opposite each other. Their windows all faced the same direction. Initially, everyone suggested Selena and the tour guide Sophie Chen share a room. But Selena was very uncomfortable sleeping with strangers, so it was decided Selena would stay in the 2nd room. That is, the room above the captain and the ranger. The adjacent room was occupied by the tour guide, Sophie Chen. My boyfriend's and my room was directly below theirs. After the allocation, everyone went to bed early. The next morning when I woke up, I found my phone had received an airdrop message. It was a picture sent by Selena. It was a screenshot of a memo. On it was written, "Phone camera?" Looking at the phone screenshot, I was completely confused. I was about to go upstairs to ask Selena what the picture she sent meant. Immediately after, Sophie Chen's scream came from upstairs. Everyone was awakened by the sound. When my boyfriend and I went upstairs, we saw everyone gathered in a circle around Selena's room. I quickly pushed past the people in front. Selena was dead. Cause of death, suicide by cutting wrists. The wounds on her wrists were clearly visible. There were no signs of struggle, but I knew clearly she absolutely wouldn't commit suicide. She must have been killed by Moroz Zorola, and this monster is now among us. About the message Selena left me before her death, I didn't mention it to anyone, including my boyfriend, Marcus. I believe she must have discovered Moroz Zorola's secret. Who was the first to find the body? William Cloud asked. Sophie Chen and I, the tour guide. The tour guide? Yes, it was Sophie Chen and I. We wanted to go to Selena's room together, to call her downstairs for breakfast. When we went in, We saw a lot of blood on her bed and on the floor. When we went in, she was already dead. Sophie Chen, the tour guide, is telling the truth. I can testify. We also checked the window of her room. The window was locked. Why, Captain, how can we be sure you two aren't working together? What if you're both Moroz Zorola, covering for each other? Besides, there are only 3 of you on the entire second floor. For Moroz Zorola, an isolated Selena would be an easier target. Everyone thought the captain's analysis made sense. They decided to reallocate the rooms. After clearing out the storage room downstairs, they finally decided everyone would stay on the first floor. My boyfriend and I still stayed in the first room. The adjacent room was occupied by Michael Shaw and William Cloud. The occupants of the opposite room became the suspected Sophie Chen and the tour guide. They were in the adjacent room, while the captain and a ranger stayed in the room opposite. Once the rooms were decided, after discussion, everyone decided to take Selena's body back for burial after finding and eliminating Moroz Zorola. So now, Selena's body is still in the room on the second floor. Everyone returned to their respective rooms early. Privately, they suspected each other. I thought about what happened today. The only message Selena left me. Phone camera. Could it mean? Phone cameras can identify Moroz Zorola? Looking at my boyfriend beside me, a thought popped into my head. What if My boyfriend turned to look at me. What's wrong? Let's take a picture, just as a memento, in case we make it out alive. My boyfriend agreed. I first took a picture with the front camera. Then, using the excuse that the front camera wasn't good, I took another with the rear camera. When checking the photos, I was very scared, because I was betting my life on this. Seeing no changes in the photos, I breathed a sigh of relief. The next morning, when I woke up, Michael Shaw was dead. The manner of his death was tragic. William Cloud became a suspect. William Cloud. Last night, you were staying in the same room as Michael Shaw. You're Moroz Zorola, aren't you? William Cloud, I don't know what you're talking about. William Cloud and the captain kept arguing. The captain grabbed William Cloud's collar. If you're not, why did Moroz Zorola kill him, but leave you alive? You were sleeping in the same room as him. When he was attacked, didn't you notice anything at all? William Cloud pushed the captain away, casually lighting a cigarette. Captain, you're really suspicious. Why are you deliberately trying to make everyone suspect me? I've said Moroz Zorola is a very cunning creature. It deliberately killed Michael Shaw while I was asleep. So, naturally, I'd be the first suspect. Obviously, Moroz Zorola achieved its goal. Because I discovered its secret, it wants to use everyone's psychology to give you a reason to eliminate me. I don't have the right to eliminate you, but that's what everyone thinks. William Cloud suddenly sneered. Captain, stop pretending. I discovered it long ago. Actually, you and the ranger are Moroz Zorola. We were all surprised, but William Cloud's statement without evidence obviously wasn't believed by anyone. I'm not actually the son of a hunter at all. I'm just a fugitive. I had no choice but to flee to these mountains. I originally got along very well with the old man who lived here. I'm grateful he took me in, but unfortunately my identity was discovered by this dead old man. I had no choice but to kill him. That day, I did make an emergency call, but the time the forest rangers and I agreed on was evening. You two arrived a full 10 hours early, and you deceived us, saying the other 2 team members were waiting at the bottom of the mountain. In reality, the 2 team members at the bottom of the mountain simply don't exist, right? Based on the mountain road conditions, the shortest time for rescue to arrive would be at least 3 p.m., so you ambushed and killed them in advance. The person eavesdropping in the trees that day was your companion, wasn't it? Captain, you disguised yourselves as forest rangers. As for that bear, oh no, Moroz Zorola, because it hadn't eaten for a long time, couldn't control its animal nature. So it charged at Sophie Chen without hesitation. You monsters like Zorola would even kill your own kind without hesitation. Whoa, The captain attempted to draw the pistol from his waist to shoot William Cloud. At this moment, William Cloud, this fugitive, sensed the danger even more quickly, drew a dagger and directly slit the captain's throat. He quickly took the captain's pistol and dealt with the remaining ranger, firing several more shots at their bodies. Everything happened so suddenly. We were all frozen in place. No one dared to step forward, afraid they would be the next to die. The bodies of the captain and the ranger were already cold, but unlike the previous brown bear, their appearance didn't change. Sophie Chen, that's too cruel. They're not Moroz Zorola at all. You killed innocent people. I see. William Cloud said grimly to her. A fugitive like me telling you about cruelty? Wouldn't that be a bit naive? Sophie Chen fell silent instantly. William Cloud, don't worry. Although I'm a fugitive, I still have basic principles. Of course, these principles depend on my mood. Why? Everyone, go back to your rooms. After all, you'll all be the protagonists of the death game soon. I know. Before that, I'm still very willing to continue playing my role as a hunter. We were forced back to our respective rooms by William Cloud, who pointed a gun at our heads. Under absolute suppression, we couldn't resist at all. Now, besides William Cloud, only my boyfriend, Sophie Chen, the tour guide, and 4 others remain. 2 hours later, the woman forced us all out one by one. You people? Now look at these 2. Are they Moroz Zorola or not? We all fell silent. We saw 2 figures with ugly appearances, their entire bodies covered in gray-black mottled skin. Parts of their limbs had protrusions like stone patterns. They grew long, pointed ears like branches. The toes of their feet were connected together, no different from monsters. This is their true form. The previous Moroz Zorola first transformed into the appearance of a safety officer, disguising itself in the team all along. After leaving, it transformed into a brown bear to create panic, because it transformed twice. After being killed, it first returned to the form of its first transformation, and finally restored to its true form. William Cloud wiped his gun. From now on, you must vote to identify the Moroz Zorola among our group. Of course, you can also choose me. According to my analysis, among our current group, there is at least one Moroz Zorola. If you can correctly identify the real Moroz Zorola, I can let the rest of you leave. If you choose wrong and kill someone, that's not my business. This death game is meaningless to me. I'll give you 30 minutes to think. Write your vote results on these cards. After 30 minutes, I'll announce the voting results. I quickly calmed down. Currently, including William Cloud, there are 5 people. My boyfriend and I count as 2 votes. If Sophie Chen and the tour guide both vote for either me or my boyfriend, and my boyfriend and I both vote for one of them, then the final decision-making power will be with William Cloud. No matter who it is, the outcome is certain death. Currently, the most suspicious are Sophie Chen and the tour guide. William Cloud is very likely to vote for one of them. In that case, if Sophie Chen and the tour guide vote for William Cloud respectively, and my boyfriend and I vote for Sophie Chen, the voting result would be William Cloud 2 votes, Sophie Chen 1 vote, tour guide 1 vote, me 0 votes, boyfriend 0 votista. No matter who William Cloud votes for, this round of voting will be invalid. If William Cloud votes for Sophie Chen, and one of the tour guide votes for him, it's very likely to become a situation where Sophie Chen and the tour guide each have 2 votes. Then William Cloud would have 2 votes. Sophie Chen, 2 votes. Tour guide 1 vote, me 0 votes. Boyfriend 0 votes. Then there would be no highest vote count. In case of a tie, initiate another vote between Sophie Chen and William Cloud. My boyfriend and I have 2 votes of decision-making power, which can completely maintain the tie in votes. After all, William Cloud didn't specify that we can't tie votes, so the vote will be invalidated. If William Cloud doesn't vote for either Sophie Chen or the tour guide, but votes for me, or my boyfriend. My boyfriend and I will punch William Cloud. Sophie Chen and the tour guide will punch or fist William Cloud. Then the voting result would be William Cloud 4 votes. Sophie Chen 1 vote. Tour guide 1 vote. Me 1 vote. Boyfriend 0 votes. Or William Cloud 4 votes. Sophie Chen 1 vote. Tour guide 1 vote. Me 0 votes. Boyfriend 1 vote. Finally, William Cloud gets the most votes and is elected as the initiator. He cannot judge his own vote, which will definitely be invalidated. The result was as expected. The vote was invalidated due to a tie. You're indeed very clever. But I don't eat beef. William Cloud directly shot and killed the tour guide. Sophie Chen was so frightened she burst into tears. Her legs gave out and she collapsed to the ground. William Cloud said nonchalantly, as if nothing had happened, "The last one in the house is also resolved. You can all sleep well now. Before I change my mind, leave by yourselves tomorrow." Oh, wait. How can you be sure the tour guide is a Moroz Zorola? I asked, confused. You told me yourself. Of all your experiences, the tour guide's is the most suspicious. Dine, Senyo. After returning to our room, my boyfriend and I both breathed a sigh of relief. We discussed how we would go home tomorrow. Everything was over. No, something seemed to have been missed. When I woke up again, it was already bright outside. After my boyfriend and I left our room, we found William Cloud's door was open. A bad feeling surged in my heart. My boyfriend and I carefully entered. We saw William Cloud lying on the bed. His head was twisted 180 degrees. The inside of his head was completely hollowed out. His entire face was like a human skin mask. Not empty inside. Only his spine and bones remained. The body was already stiff. Based on the current stiffness, he had been dead for at least 6 to 7 hours. From the overall condition of the body, the time of death should be between 1:30 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. His limbs were all present, his right hand holding a gun, his index finger on the trigger. Obviously, it was a sudden danger. He didn't even have time to fire his gun before being killed instantly. The moment I saw the body, although my boyfriend immediately covered my eyes, the first scene was already imprinted in my mind. After vomiting in the bathroom, my boyfriend and I still decided to go to William Cloud's room to get the self-defense weapons first. What we can do now is do our best to protect ourselves. The 2 guns from the former captain and forest ranger are all with William Cloud. My boyfriend and I each took one of William Cloud's hunting guns. When he was swatted away by the bear, they were taken. Now only my boyfriend, Sophie Chen, and I remain in this house. Could Sophie Chen not be human? My boyfriend and I exchanged a look. Holding our guns, we slowly opened Sophie Chen's door. We found Sophie Chen still in deep sleep. Looking at the sleeping pills on the table, we instantly understood what was happening. Fortunately, the dosage of sleeping pills wasn't high. We finally woke her up. "What are you doing?" "Don't kill me. Don't kill me." We put down our guns. Let her calm down. William Cloud is dead, and the gun on Marcus is his. "Did you kill him?" No. He must have been killed by a Moroz Zorola. If you can bear it, you can go to his room and see. Ow. I don't want to see. It must be very bloody. And well, after calming Sophie Chen, I told them my speculation. Currently, there might be one last Moroz Zorola remaining. I tried hard to recall something that seemed to have been missed by me. Those 2 bears? Do you still remember what happened on the rescue day? I remember there were 2 bears that day. One of them charged directly at me, wanting to tear me apart. The first bear was already dead. It was a transformation of a Moroz Zorola, the first safety officer who went down the mountain. Let's go confirm the tour guide's body. My boyfriend, Sophie Chen, and I went to the main hall to check the tour guide's body. It had indeed transformed into the true form of a Moroz Zorola. William Cloud's speculation was correct. He successfully identified who the Moroz Zorola was and killed him with 1 shot. What was missed? Suddenly, all connected in my mind. The tour guide and the 2 safety officers were all Moroz Zorola. Sophie Chen asked, confused. But the second safety officer saved us. He himself was dragged away. The second safety officer was indeed dragged away. But that might have been their trick of deception, giving you the illusion of death, to carry out their next plan. No, Shane. What plan? My boyfriend and Sophie Chen asked in unison. I glanced at the surroundings of the main hall and the stairs, pulled my boyfriend and Sophie Chen into my room, and gently closed the door. In a very soft voice, I said, "Do you remember what we did after Selena was killed? We left the body in place and waited for the rescue team to come before taking it back for burial." Right, who first suggested that? My boyfriend and Sophie Chen suddenly realized it was the captain and the tour guide. After Selena was killed, I kept guessing based on clues. You and the tour guide stayed in the same room. Based on your sleeping pill dosage? Your sleep situation isn't very optimistic, is it? That's right, I have severe sleep disorders. I need medication to maintain deep sleep. Delay. I continued to speculate. On the day of the murder, you took your usual dose of sleeping pills as usual, didn't you? I have to say your heart is really big. Perhaps you took the pills with the attitude of certain death. After you fell into deep sleep, the tour guide and safety officer collaborated outside. Although all 3 rooms on the first floor were occupied, almost everyone kept their doors tightly closed, and we didn't arrange for anyone to take turns on watch. So the path from the first floor to the second floor, even if someone passed through, no one would have noticed. Actually, I've been suspecting the Selena's body we saw at first might have been fake. The tour guide waited until we fell sound asleep, let the safety officer in. Then the safety officer ate Selena, not even leaving bones behind. Finally, he transformed into Selena's appearance, disguising it as suicide by cutting wrists. I clearly remember you said at the time that you had already confirmed Selena could no longer be saved, so none of us went to verify again. In fact, you didn't participate in the confirmation. It was the tour guide who directly told you. Sophie Chen nodded, proving my speculation was correct. Speaking of this, my boyfriend and Sophie Chen also guessed who the last Moroz Zorola might be. Obviously, it's in one of the second floor rooms. He transformed into Selena's body. William Cloud was killed by him. Right now, the 3 of us have a guess, but we don't dare to rashly go check. If he's really the Moroz Zorola and suddenly attacks us, the 3 of us have no self-defense skills. We're no match for him at all. Under my suggestion, my boyfriend and I both hid in Sophie Chen's room. There's a wardrobe just opposite her bed. Compared to under the bed, the wardrobe opposite the bed can let us rush out to save her at the first moment of danger. Currently, only the 3 of us remain. Tonight, the Moroz Zorola will definitely act again. Compared to my boyfriend who stays with me, Sophie Chen is obviously an easier target. If my guess is correct, tonight he will definitely come to Sophie Chen's room to eat her. At midnight, the door was slowly opened. Sophie Chen was facing the door, without taking sleeping pills. She was extremely nervous. From the moment the Moroz Zorola entered the room, all of Sophie Chen's hairs stood on end. Just as he reached his hand toward Sophie Chen, my boyfriend and I fired a shot at the shadow with the faint moonlight, then rushed out of the wardrobe door. Sophie Chen gathered all her strength and bounced up from the bed, turned on the bedside switch. Only then did we clearly see Selena's body. My guess was completely correct. Unfortunately, that shot didn't hit his vital part. How could you have guessed? After saying this, he used all his strength to pounce on Sophie Chen. Inserting 5 fingers into her heart's position, he violently pulled out Sophie Chen's heart. Too fast. By the time my boyfriend and I reacted, Sophie Chen's heart was already in his hand. My boyfriend and I fired continuously, then fired several more shots to confirm he was completely lifeless. Only then did we dare to collapse to the ground. Finally, one Moroz Zorola was also resolved by us. We couldn't save Sophie Chen, and we felt very guilty. After all, she was a living person who died tragically in front of us. We returned to our room and finally passed out from mental stress. When I woke up the next day, It was already afternoon. My boyfriend and I held each other and cried, grateful that we were still alive. Suppressing my nausea, I entered William Cloud's room again. After searching for a moment, I found the satellite phone. I immediately sent our location to the forest ranger team, requesting rescue. At the same time, my boyfriend buried the body and guns, together in the ground. In the house, I found some meat. Simply cooked it, and I wolfed it down. The seasoning was too heavy. I couldn't tell if it was beef or chicken. What kind of meat is this? It should be mutton, I think. Found in the refrigerator. I think it smells strongly of mutton. So I added more seasoning. Yes. What's wrong? Is it not good to eat? A bit salty. After replenishing our energy, we'll wait for the forest ranger team's rescue. And go down the mountain. Yes. Finally, under the escort of the forest ranger team, we left this terrible place. We returned to our rented apartment. We marveled at having escaped death. The stray cat my boyfriend and I found, Little Flower, kept rubbing against our legs, missing us very much. To celebrate our narrow escape from death, let's take another photo, Marcus said. If I ever go to these mountains again, you must show me this photo, to remind me how great the danger was. Well, who am I? Okay, Little Flower keeps rubbing my leg. Meow, meow, Little Flower. What's wrong, Little Flower? What's wrong, Little Flower? Do you want to take a photo too? Do you want to take a photo too? Meow, meow. Little Flower seemed to understand my words, responding with meows. Okay. Don't worry, I'll take one for you now. I held my phone and squatted down facing Little Flower. Just as I was about to switch to the rear camera to take a photo, Little Flower's 2 front paws climbed onto my phone. I didn't hold it steady. My phone dropped at my feet, forming an angle with the ground. Fortunately, it didn't break. Just as my boyfriend was looking at me using my phone, when I picked it up, I accidentally touched the photo button. Just as Little Flower was about to let my boyfriend take a selfie, I saw the photo that had already formed in the lower left corner. I clicked in to delete it, but in the photo was a creature with long arms and pointed ears. Phone camera. So it turns out that inverted phone camera can see the true face of a Moroz Zorola. Clara, do you still want to take a photo? My boyfriend smiled, staring at me. I suddenly woke up from the bed with a start, only to realize it was just a nightmare. My boyfriend sat by my bed, holding me. Clara, what's wrong? Did you have a nightmare? I nodded, breathing a sigh of relief, thinking of the scene in the dream. I secretly picked up my phone and turned it over. In my boyfriend's